So the locker room, what do you say for this? Nyheim Hines, who always gives it to it straight up just a moment ago in the losing locker room.
We haven't been good down here, and it seems like the past couple years has gotten worse. But optimistically, we're 0-1 and 2, 0-1 and 1. Yeah. So start out 1-5, we start out 1-4. It's the second game of the year, so obviously this one sucks. It was embarrassing. It's hard. It's hard for all Colts fans out there. It was really tough. We apologize for that, but we're back to work, and that's what it is. We're going to focus on the Chiefs after we watch this film on Monday and keep it moving.
Frank said it was the most intense week of practice he's had leading up to this game. What didn't connect between this week and today?
Honestly, we just didn't show up to play, I think. I mean, we had a great week of practice. One of the best weeks of practice. Frank didn't lie about that. We had a great week of practice. We came in here optimistic, came in here ready to play. But just because you have a good week of practice doesn't mean you can just go out there and play. They came out there ready to play today, and we didn't, and it was obvious from the start of the game. So we're going to have to do some soul searching. We're going to have to have some hard conversations, and we're going to pick this up because, I mean, we're 0-1 and 1. So, I mean, next week can be 1-1 and 1.
Do you feel like the effort today reflected the effort of your head coach and what he put in to this matchup?
I don't think with us it's effort. It's about execution, man. One thing about all the guys in the locker room is we're going to come out here and play hard no matter what the score is, no matter how bad or how good we think we are. We come out here and play. So with us, it's never a question of how hard we play. It's coming down to execution. We didn't execute from the start of offense, defense, special teams, all around. We're not good today.
Nyheim, offensively, it seemed like there were a couple situations where there was either miscommunication or a bit of confusion for you guys, whether that was personnel-wise or play calls. Can you explain just what some of those difficulties were in particular? I think one time there was a timeout in particular Matt had to take.
Well, we had some injuries, so we had some injuries and some guys down at the whiteout room, so we had to make some adjustments that were made in the past 48 hours. And then outside of that, I mean, that doesn't even matter who the injuries are. We're pros. Our job is to come out here and be ready to play. And really some of the crowd noise, and probably just the fact that, the unit didn't practice as much because we've had some injuries, and that really doesn't matter, and that's no excuse. We're pros. We are the best at what we do. We're experts at what we do, and we really got to come out here and play better. We let our coach down. We let the state of Indiana down, and it was honestly just embarrassing.
So we look at wide receiver. Look, at halftime, Ashton Doolin, the only true wideout with a catch, 3 for 32 yards. They move Hines into this slot role, which I know so many of you have been waiting for 2 or 3 seasons. But still, the number one question that Chris Ballard received this summer, do you have enough depth? And that was with Michael Pittman Jr. Today you saw you couldn't put a point on the board without him. Clearly, that answer is no to that question early in the season. On the other side of the ball, last week it was DeForest Buckner rallying the entire defense on the sideline in the third quarter to essentially wake up. There was no such conversation today, and that tells you everything you need to know about really the state of this team when they looked up after that first score in the second half a moment ago. DeForest Buckner on the 24-0 shutout loss.
Oh, we got the right preparation, man. We got outplayed, outcoached, out-executed, you know what I'm saying, from top to bottom. So, everybody got to look at themselves in the mirror and figure it out, you know what I mean? Come in tomorrow and figure out what we need to get better at individually and collectively come together and, get better next week.
Did you, starting the game, did the motivation feel high? I mean, you guys, the way you finished here last year to come out this way.
I mean, every week, guys are going in with all the motivation in the world, to win a game. You know what I mean? Nobody's going out there, to play like crap. You know what I'm saying? We're all trying to put our best out there. I mean, today we got outplayed, and as a group, as a team, we need to, like I said, we need to come in tomorrow and figure it out, and figure out the little mistakes and the little things that we got to, continue to develop and get better at, and move forward.
The run defense today may be the most baffling part of this loss. You knew you had to force Trevor Lawrence to be uncomfortable. No pass rush. You've already touched on that earlier in the show. But for James Robinson to do what he did, specifically on the 36-yard touchdown run, I think that was the worst defensive run play. You have to go back to Frank Reich's first season in 2018 when they started 1-5. That's how long it's been since the Colts looked that lackadaisical lackadaisical on a run play in the regular season. With the offensive line, there will be plenty of talk this week. Is Matt Pryor going to remain the left tackle? I can tell you Bernard Ryman was limping post-game. He was checked out in a separate medical room, and his health will certainly be a story going forward. He didn't look 100% leaving Jacksonville, but Ryan Kelly, the anchor of this unit, at least from a vocal standpoint, he was at a loss. Told us some things off camera that we can't share with you on TV. Ryan Kelly not happy with the start this season.
Defense held it together for us for the entire game. Couldn't get first downs. Shot ourselves in the foot a bunch of different times. We know what kind of talent we have in the team, so that's probably the most frustrating part of it all. But it's the NFL, so you can sit there and whimper about it. It's week 3. It's a long season ahead, so I know we have the guys in the room to turn the ship, and sometimes it's never as good as you think, and never as bad as you think. So I'm sure there'll be good things on film, and we'll have to learn from what we did wrong, clean it up.
Are you surprised you guys aren't winning more up front? We've seen you guys at your best. And when you do that, you win consistently.
Yeah, we'll look at the tape. It's kind of a weird game. We couldn't really ever get into a rhythm. We had a little bit of stretch where we were kind of running the ball a little bit, a couple plays here and there. They load the box against us. Put a diamond against us all day. It's not an excuse. We have to win on one-on-one blocks, but I'm sure look back at the film and figure out what we could have done better.
Ryan, what was said at halftime when you got back in here?
Just need to get 7, and that was said. Never did it, but that was the message. And defense held in there for us as long as we needed them to. We just never could deliver for them, so that was disheartening. Disheartening up front. Just the entire offense not to be able to, at least get 5 first downs in the first half.
Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo. The slow start, Jonathan Taylor, 5 carries, 4 yards in the first half. Remember, the Colts last year under Carson Wentz had the second most points in the first quarter throughout the season. Through 2 weeks with Matt Ryan, they have 3. It's just unexplainable considering the weapons that they believe they added this offseason. And then the other one that's going to stick with Colts fans this week, AC, through 2 weeks, the Colts have led for a total of 9 minutes and 23 seconds against the Texans and Jaguars when 95% of this fan base thought Pat Mahomes was going to be seeing a 2-0 football team in week 3 at Lucas Oil Stadium. That's not the case.
You're right. And, you talk about the first downs, too. 2 first downs there in that first half? It was downright ugly, brutal. Charlie, stay right there, my man. Much more with Charlie from the locker room coming up in a moment.